9 U.S. athletes are set to compete at the Tokyo Olympics across the 3 equestrian disciplines, plus 3 athletes at the Paralympics. But putting a team in the ring isn't as simple as putting 12 bodies on a plane. There are the 4 traveling reserve riders, who would step in the event of an injury. There are the 7 coaches. There are the 6 team leaders, who manage logistics. There are the 16 grooms, to care for the horses. Then there is the farrier, to look after the horses' hooves and handle their shoeing. And the 4 veterinarians. And the 2 equine physical therapists. And the human physical therapist. In all, the U.S. equestrian delegation in Tokyo will be made up of at least 64 people, and the number would have been even higher, at 76, if not for COVID-19 restrictions. And that doesn't include the mountains of equipment or the real stars of the show, the 16 horses. It shouldn't be all that surprising, then, that even setting aside the contributions from the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee and the considerable costs shouldered by athletes themselves, the Tokyo Games are carrying a 6-figure price tag for U.S. Equestrian, the sport's national governing body. That money is needed for an endurance event that is just as astounding as the Olympic competition that follows, getting those horses, and that legion of support staff, halfway around the world. In an ideal situation, the coordination for an event of this magnitude takes years. Athletes take on much of the financial responsibility for competing, riding their own horses, employing their own grooms and buying much of their equipment, but the global travel leaves plenty for the national federation to do. Accommodations are arranged a couple of years in advance, and the horses' flights are booked as much as a year out. Plans are made for the horses' pre-export quarantine, a requirement under each country's agricultural regulations around transporting livestock. General team equipment, everything from horseshoes to manure forks to chairs and coffee makers, is sent by container ship. Will Connell, U.S. Equestrian Sport Director, says the Federation is already planning the logistics around the next Olympics, in Paris in 2024, and developing the program for the 2028 Los Angeles Games. But 2021 is hardly an ideal situation. Arduous COVID-19 protocols imposed by the Japanese government and Olympic organizers made accreditation a long and grueling process. Even more important, the pandemic's impact on airlines left few freight flights available for the horses and sent prices skyrocketing, when a round-trip business class ticket to Europe for a horse and its kit normally costs $25,000. So in late April, with assistance from the horse transportation logistics company Ped and Bloodstock, the Federation decided to send the team's U.S.